Hey, it's Chris. It is Thursday, the 25th of January, 2 days after the New Hampshire primary. I'm still recovering. Got a venti caramel macchiato here. I think that'll go down easy. I wanted to check back in about what happened. Sorry, by the way, for the hat. My hair is in rough shape. The little of it that there is. So, here's what I want to talk about. Obviously, Donald Trump won by 12-ish points over Nikki Haley in New Hampshire. She's going on to South Carolina, at least for now. I think the race is effectively over, and I want to highlight something that I think is important, and that doesn't get highlighted enough. Donald Trump has run a really, really good Republican primary campaign. I think the reason we don't talk enough about this is because Trump, the candidate, right, in my mind, is a bully, a demagogue, lies all the time, sort of appeals to our worst instincts, right? All those things are true. But the campaign, I take as a separate thing. So the candidate is one thing. The campaign is sort of the strategic and tactical decisions, whether it's on fundraising or ads or debates or message, all the stuff that's over here that a candidate that a campaign does. The candidate is the candidate, right? I mean, I'll talk more about Trump, obviously, throughout this year, but we know the deal there. The campaign, I think, has been different than the campaigns that Trump ran in 2016 and 2020, and much, much better. So just a few quick decisions I think they made that were really smart. Number one, the embracing of the indictments. So Trump is under 4 indictments, 91 federal counts. Normally, that would be a problem for a candidate. For Trump, it basically sealed him the nomination because they ran to those indictments rather than from it. They sort of wove the legal problems he has into the broader campaign narrative that it's the deep state and they're politicizing the Justice Department and they're out to get him and they don't want him to be president again and they stole the election, blah. I mean, all of that's not true, but regardless, that's what they that's the story that the campaign told. I think from the first indictment back in April 2023, this campaign has been a different thing than it was before that first indictment, and it's been good for Trump. So that's one. Another one, debates. So I remember this was in the summer of 2023, end of the summer of 2023, when people were saying like, Donald Trump's not going to debate. This is a big deal. He's ceding the field to DeSantis and Haley and Christie and everyone else. Wound up not hurting him at all. In fact, I'd argue it helped him, right? He didn't debate one time during the Republican primary. He's not going to debate Haley. And I think what happened was the debates kind of felt lesser, right? They felt JV. They felt kids' table at Thanksgiving. By the end, it was a DeSantis-Haley debate, the last debate that we had. Yeah, it was like everyone going through the motions. Nobody thought it was going to change anything. Everyone knew Trump wasn't there, and he was ahead by a lot. So I think that was a smart decision. One other thing. The 2016 Trump campaign especially, a little less so 2020, but 2020 still too, was sort of marked by Donald Trump is chaos, right? I think people are drawn to that in some ways, but he's chaos. He says and does a lot of crazy stuff. The campaign, again, that's the candidate. The campaign had, in 2016 and 2020, had been chaotic as well. Changes at the top, leaks about different staffers, leaks about Trump and his stability, leaks about stuff he had said and done in private, kind of crappy organizations in early states like Iowa and New Hampshire. The 2024 campaign has been remarkably stable compared to the chaos of the candidate and the chaos of the past campaigns. So the two people in charge, Chris LaCivita and Susie Wiles, have been in charge since the beginning. There hasn't been a lot of drama as it relates to the staff. Really haven't heard much of anything. And the organizations in Iowa and New Hampshire were really good. They turned people out. He won by 30 and he won by 12 in Iowa and 12 in New Hampshire. So I think that's important too, particularly as you contrast it, just FYI, with the chaos that surrounded staff-wise the DeSantis campaign. Staff changes all the time. People in the super PAC leaving, blaming the campaign. People in campaign leaving, blaming the super PAC, all that stuff. So look, to me, Donald Trump starts the general election, which I think is basically started now, starts the general election against Joe Biden with a very narrow, but a lead. He is a slight favorite to be the next president of the United States. And I think that is due in very large part to the very good campaign he ran over about the last year. Now, can he keep it up? he's Trump. The chaos of the candidate might bleed over into the campaign. He will say and do things that the campaign will have to grapple with, no matter how good they are strategically and tactically. That's what he does. Biden will obviously play a role in this too, right? He's going to try to muck things up for Trump in a way that, honestly, none of the Republican candidates were able to do. But all of that said, I think from a political professional standpoint, the Trump 2024 campaign has been a very good one. And if I was a Democrat, that would make me nervous. Because Trump's never had a good campaign before. I'd say he won in 2016 and almost won in 2020, but won in 2016 in spite of his campaign, not because of his campaign. This time, at least based on the last year, he's going to have a good campaign. So what does that mean? I mean, obviously, stay tuned. I'm going to keep chugging this. If you can, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Spread the word. Get other people to subscribe. I'm really trying to grow this. I'm trying to do videos probably daily going forward. So if you like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I appreciate you. Thanks.